this, and I want it to be something that is worth something worth listening to for real. So as long as we're doing that, I think we'll be good. And we're recording now, Derek. So woo! Yes, sir. Let me get some of these things off the table. I'm super excited for you guys that are here. We have a ton of funny topics. And not funny, but we just have a ton of topics. A lot to talk about today. Hopefully you guys are seeing. This is in my crib. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be here, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be here. So that's a little sad. But regardless, because my lease ends in May.
Oh, okay.
So, and I haven't really enjoyed this crib as much as my first one that you came to.
Yeah.
But regardless, new setup. As you guys can see, we're here in person. I got the iPad, I got the work laptop, I got the other laptop. We got double cameras today, so
it's elite.
hopefully
elite.
the clips will. Yeah. If y'all can see it, you feel me? You would get it. So I'm here with my guy Derek.
Yes, sir. Yes,
DMeyer. We potted before.
Yes,
this is
sir.
not his first time. Last time we really just had a general conversation.
Yeah.
Health, fitness, life. We had both just finished college. But me and him are former roommates. And one thing I learned about you, Derek gonna wake you up to do them dishes, yo.
That's true.
He will come to your bedroom and say, bro, I need you to do these dishes. So anyways, I'm happy he took a trip down to North Carolina, not for me, but for some other things. And so, man, I'm glad to have you, bro.
Yeah, man. It kind of speak a little bit more of my experience. Yeah, live was this crazy dude for a little bit. Right now, in a management role, career-wise, and then outside of work, deep into fitness, Get Right List, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, RIP.
We'll see by the time this comes out. Yeah.
Right. And then have all my fitness certifications. Slowly about to build up clientele. Try to really, because my goal, really to help people, as many people as I can on the online platform. So that's what stuff I got going on. But yeah.
All right, that sounds good. And so I really think we should just dive right in. We've been here for some time trying to set up. So let's just go ahead. The big thing with you mentioned Get Right Lifts, right? As you guys can see, he's a brolic guy. You feel me?
I'm probably like him, bro.
And so fitness has always been a thing for you. And that's sort of, I feel like, how we connected a little bit in the earlier days in college. And so we have a ton of topics here, but just from your perspective, you kind of are making some content. We spoke a year ago. How is it going now?
I think it's going well.
Yeah.
I've learned how to increase my average views and also increase the amount of reach I have month over month. Just through making sure that when you first start the content, that it has like that thing that people gravitate towards.
Yeah.
And as you know, I experimented with 5 gazillion ways of how to have my content and what works.
Yeah.
Currently, what works for me to get in the 2,000, 3,000 range is just have like that initial, hey, this to get here, this is what you have to do, and then the thing after. And to get more views, you add a little bit more value, but still experimenting with that so I can get past a new threshold, hopefully in the 5,000s or more this year on a consistent basis. So.
Okay, I love that. So you've sort of figured things out. And we spoke in the last part about sort of your fitness journey. Now that you make content, how has your fitness journey changed as a result?
I think first, let me even talk about my inspiration behind even doing fitness in general. So I have a simple story that started to change the gears a little bit. So I was in middle school where I was doing track. Yeah. Right. There was 3 of the slowest people, because I'm not gonna lie, the chubby kid is a.
Were you one of the slowest?
I was number 3.
Oh man, right.
A year goes by because how we know we warm up, do laps, whatnot. Right. A year goes by. All of a sudden, I'm the second slowest.
Yeah.
The taller dude
so
got past me,
some improvement. Yeah.
No. Second slowest. Like.
You're going down. Okay. All right. Yeah.
And another year goes by. Third slowest. The worst, or no, number 1 slowest in the school. And that first trigger, I'm like, yo, I need to get myself together. Yeah. And then I looked in the mirror, right? Didn't like what I saw, as you can imagine. Tried to do some push-ups. They were not push-upping. Not at all. I couldn't even do 5. Yeah. So that's when I really thought about, I truly sat down and reflected about my values, where I want to be at this age and stuff like that. And that kind of set the stone of this. Yes. Now, that's not the reason why I do social media part, but just fitness in general. That's what initially got me there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also, do you know like how and this is a funny topic because you know how in middle school people do the nipple flick thingy?
Bruh,
Oh my
yes.
gosh.
I don't even want to talk about the things we did in high school. We got things that would get us like arrested if people you feel me? But yeah, I forgot what that was called, man. But
it was the worst. I think even as a kid, because I was bigger, like I had that and that.
Yeah, you had
people always do that to me and nobody else. Even there's another fat dude, but they always did it to me.
Right.
So now I'm like, you know what? It's time. They have to go. They have to go, or they have to be more muscular or something.
Yeah. And so that's really inspiring, I think, right? As far as what got you into it.
Yeah.
And then, obviously in college you started really, getting stronger. Obviously, your body was, getting to a point that I guess you really liked and looked presentable or by whatever standards. What made you start making content?
I think what made me start content, it was really funny. I had a conversation with my dad. And I mean, he doesn't talk, he kind of talks like this, but he's like, hey, Doc, you go to the gym. Do you want to be a trainer? Do you want to do this? So you might as well just record it and try to make some money off of it.
Really? So you're African dad? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so because I didn't really do it because I didn't really care or still don't like what people think about my, what I do and stuff like that. But I think it was a good perspective of like, how can I make sure that I'm investing all this time in something, and how can I like see if because I'm passionate about it, like what can I really do with it, right? And then can it ultimately help people who have a similar story or trying to get into fitness or whatever the case may be. So I feel like, having, good people around me kind of cultivating my ideas around fitness kind of led me to do the social media thing. So.
Okay, interesting. And so we sort of touched on that in the first pod, which I would encourage people to watch. But now, from your fitness journey to today, the idea of health and fitness has changed so much.
A lot, yeah. It has. I think one of the biggest changes is now people are finally focusing more on what you eat than a lot of the workouts you do.
Okay.
There's still some fallacies with it in terms of like, oh, you get here due to and do this, that, and the third, but really you don't. So many different ways to lose weight. It's just it's a big world. So really just trying to figure out how can I experiment and find what's good with me. I think it's something that's changed. And this overall like a gym culture, like how there's now a lot of gym creators who all know each other in the same area and have a big following, Gymshark and all that. So that's what's really been changing for sure.
What's your take on this? Because for me, I see this as the commercialization of health and fitness. Because if you think about it, like I'm not gonna say I'm the biggest bodybuilding fan, but I'm hip to Ronnie Coleman and Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jay, I forget his last name, but
I think you're talking about Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler, some of those guys. And from what I see, it was like this was a niche culture for them. Like they were their own group. Like it was us and a few other guys. We knew everybody. Now fitness, not just from the bodybuilding perspective, but just in general, it's like everyone goes to the gym. You know what I'm saying? And not only does everyone go to the gym, but this whole culture around it has become sort of a uniform type thing, and there's stereotypes about certain types of gym guys. Do you feel like it's positive? Do you think it's positive or negative? How do you sort of see it?
Honestly, if people are just going to the gym in general, I think it's positive.
Right.
Now, there's a lot of like negatives, good and bad, but if people are in there on the treadmill lifting, doing something, that's a step in the right direction.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's interesting though, because what it means to be healthy today is different as a result of that culture.
Yeah.
So, for example, it seems like science really was coming out with all different reports, and they were dictating, guys, healthy is maybe your BMI, which people later debunked, or maybe it's this, it's that. Now with the commercialization of it all, it's like healthy can be this, and it can look like that, and it can look like that.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think a lot of it's overcomplicated, man, because all of it's about how much food you put into your body at the end of the day. And you're right. There's keto, there's carnivore.
Right.
There's what you do, vegan.
Oh, my God. Vegetarian.
And vegan. You're right. There's a difference. So it's just a lot. Really, the key is just to keep it simple. Keep it simple. Find what works with you, because it's a whole giant rabbit hole. That I could talk for hours about, because it's like, man.
That's interesting, because then for you, what do you feel like health, since everyone's making their own definition, what do you feel like the definition of health is for you, Derek?
I think health is not only like actually going to like the gym and eating well, but also learning the lessons behind it. Now, what do I mean by that? The discipline of getting up every day, and or coming off of work and like, damn, okay, now I have to go to the gym and doing that right. How do you not only go to the gym, but how do you apply it to different spaces in your life in a positive way?
Yeah,
I think that's what health means for me. Like not only this, but how in a broader view can it touch every space?
That's interesting. I like that definition a lot. I would say the one I've always had, and I still think I have to this day, is how long do you want to live?
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
And does this maximize how long you could potentially live? Because obviously anyone can die from heart attack, stroke, car accident. Yeah, you can't control that. But from what you can control, how much are you willing to put into it? And are you putting in enough to where you're either maximizing or like getting close to that?
Or even this. Yeah. Another aspect is like, do you want to be able to do physical activities with your kids?
Yeah.
Grandkids, right? Like, do you want to be a father who's getting crossed when your kid is like 6-year-old because you can't move your hips? Yeah. Or do you want to be able to play a little bit, right?
And defend yourself too. I'm big on that. Yeah. I'm like, if something happens, your first instinct, I think, in a bad situation probably should be to run. Yeah. So I'm like, if you can't run a mile, I always tell people, if you can't run a mile, dude, you're fucked. You feel me? It might be done for you, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And so how do you feel society's definition of health and fitness is now in comparison to yours?
In comparison to mine.
In comparison to yours.
That is a tough question.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead. What do you think?
I think today society has said the definition of healthy is anything. So therefore, I'm not striving to be anything. Do you see what I'm saying?
Explain that a little bit more.
I'll explain it like this. So for you, your gym goals and my gym goals are going to be different, right? Now, whether we're getting to those goals or not getting to them, it doesn't necessarily matter, right? And there is no ideal body, so to speak. That's what society, I guess, is saying. There's no ideal body. Compare that to Greeks and Romans. If you saw their statues have ideal bodies. 6-pack abs, right? Decent chest, strong arms, like what we would consider a generally physically fit man. Now I feel like American society, and I got to preface it, right? American society is saying there is no standard. Health just looks like whatever. And I think the idea of it is good, right? Because you shouldn't have body dysmorphia. You shouldn't have an eating disorder as a result of trying to reach a goal. Yep. However, I think the implementation of it is a bit bad because now someone can be physically obese and we're just saying it doesn't matter. So that's where I'm saying what I think society differs from mine.
So I have a slightly different opinion. I think the overall view in terms of how America thinks is correct. I think in a more niche for people who do go to the gym, what does health mean for them? It's more so about the result, not necessarily what inputs you put in, just the output.
Okay.
Like as you mentioned, since there's so many different ways to do it, as long as you look this way, boom, they automatically think you're healthy. But really, that person might not even be eating.
Maybe they don't eat. They might be on steroids. They might be.
They could be. But because they look this way, then they're healthy. Right. And then overall, like you mentioned, like it can just be whatever. You can be big, small, tall, 500, 200 pounds, and still be considered healthy. Sure. But at the end of the day, right? Like if an emergency happened, you try to run out the stairs. If you can't do that, if you can't run a mile, like you mentioned, like you're cooked. So.
Okay. Do you think society? You said America. You think has the right idea about it? Why?
I think right idea in terms of like trying to find a way towards a result. I feel like we're slowly progressing to a more positive thing. I feel like what's hurting us though is like the small products when it comes to like the different types of pre-workout. Not saying pre-workout is bad, but not all of them are good. When it comes to like selling all the caffeine stuff, so making people addicted, like the feeling that I need this to reach that when that's not true. You feel me? So that's it's tough because it's just when it comes with like capitalism and how we, to make money, we have to sell stuff. Yeah. And then attaching that to a lifestyle. And then all of a sudden that is that's what I think is going to get me there, but really it's not. I feel like that's kind of where America's at. But so at least we're focusing on wanting to get healthier. But the journey, but the journey is kind of
convoluted.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, with that, I love statistics. I love numbers. I love what we would consider facts through these things.
Yeah.
the fact of America is they say roughly 60% of the population is obese.
Yeah.
Right. And so then when you say America has the right idea, the wrong means, I guess, to get there, what do you think is causing people to fail at getting fit as a result? Because it's like if 60% is obese, then probably the other 20% is also overweight.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And they say the average person can't even do a pull-up, like one pull-up. What is causing this?
I think it's the convenience of unhealthy foods.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, getting healthy foods is extremely convenient. Like,
yeah,
to find healthy foods, you have to go to Sprout or some like farmer's market that's only open at a certain time.
Right.
If you DoorDash something, you're not really sure who picked it or whatnot. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like unhealthy foods or foods that can make you fatter quicker are just too available, are too convenient.
Devil's advocate. Someone would say, well, it's your choice, right? No one's telling you to go to McDonald's. You're going to McDonald's. You're going to Chick-fil-A.
That's where I disagree. I think people, I think when it comes to like the commercials, when it comes to like just seeing like food on your phone, right? It's not like people are, you're right. People still have a choice, but those like underlying messages in your head and what it makes you think of kind of controls the consumer behavior, in my opinion.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why I feel like people do have a choice, but they kind of already decided it once they seen this ad.
That, and I think, you know, they say sugar is more addicting than cocaine from when they tested it in rats. I think the chemicals and the composition of the foods really, like, if you eat some junk for a week, it's going to be hard for you to want to go back to eating green and clean.
It is. That's why it's so important to find replacements or cook.
Yeah. And the portion size, man. When I went to the UK, that was when my eyes, like, lit up. Just because a bottle of Sprite was like this. It was like this skinny. Yeah. Versus here, a bottle of Sprite is like this and this tall. You know what I mean? But for me, I feel like you're letting people off the hook. Because we're talking about culture. Yeah. One thing me and you have seen in at least the black community, big bag culture.
Oh, man. Big bag culture might have been the funniest thing ever created. And I'll tell you why. Because I've never looked at people's backs before that culture.
You're actually looking at people's backs?
Because, like... Prior to this, everybody was focused on the belly fat. I mean, people still are, but now looking at the back, like I literally the other day seen somebody like walk this way. I look at their back. I'm like, how did that form?
Stupid. Yeah. How did that? Yeah.
Like no judgment, but it's just I just don't like how does the fat end up on this side and at that side and up and down? Like I just don't get it. So I feel like big back culture highlighted the importance of having full body fat loss versus just somebody's stomach.
That's what you think big back culture is? I think it's totally different. I think big black culture has been reinforcing the stereotype of I eat compulsively and as a result, I'm never going to lose this big back that I got. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I guess I'm talking more of the positive side.
Okay, you're talking about the positive side. I'm saying the negative side.
The negative side is that. Yeah, that's true.
Because, like, the memes that I see these days, bro, they're insane. Like, it'll be, like, people with stuff like pillows. In
the back. And
then they'll be, like, me at 2 a.m. fixing up my, you feel me? And so, for me, it's so scary because I'm like, I think fitness is the most underrated way to take care of yourself. Yeah. Because there's so many studies. Your body, the chemicals that you produce in your mind and everything how your body just functions. When you're physically fit, you're naturally going to be more optimal and all that. You'll have more mental clarity, And so for you, like, we have one of our topics as we transition from like health to fitness, you know, you even have what foods to cut out. What do you feel like someone who's watching this now, right? They're overweight. What do you feel like they can do to immediately start making some level of a difference?
Yeah. First, you have to prioritize what foods do you like and what replacements, especially when it comes to drinks, because drinks are always a sneaky way to gain calories. Yeah. Like if you take out all sodas, replace it with like 0-calorie sodas. I'm on the side where I feel like that's a really good way to replace it if you do like sodas. Yeah. Sticking to water. Let's say if you like juices, right? Lemonade. There's a lot of diet like lemonades, so it's always good if you like citrus, right? So finding what those replacements are, especially when it comes to liquids, because that's a quick way to get rid of a ton of calories. Yeah. And then also like how do you cook, right? So how do we plan out cooking? Because a lot of times it can be like, oh, I don't have time, so I'm just gonna get my bad.
Yeah, I know she's doing a lot. Come on, girl. Go ahead.
But when it comes to like how are we cooking? Like, are we air frying our food, put in the oven, stir fry, and then also when it comes to time, do I have to cook every day after work, or can I dedicate one day to cook everything?
Sure.
Right. So we just have to think about what are the things that we like, because we don't need to eat everything in the world. We don't have to eat everything new. I don't have to eat steak one day, chicken the next, salmon the next, right? Maybe that whole week I just eat chicken. Maybe the whole week I just eat salmon, right? How can we make it simpler and the food that I like, but healthier?
I like that one because I think they say food is like 70% of it typically.
I was like 80.
Shoot. Yeah, people even say 90. Like even for me, I cut out because I love juice. You know, I love juice. I love soda. I started buying just 5-calorie juice, like 5 calorie per serving.
I'm telling you, the long run makes a big difference.
I've cut down. Like, as far as fat around my waist and stuff like that, and those are definitely easy hacks. How about from a working out perspective? Because what I notice is I've never experienced it, but I see some people and I'm like, you couldn't come work out with me day one. You know what I mean? Because if I did X or Y or Z, you would be like, it would be over. You know what I'm saying? You'd be over after the first set. Like, that would be a day's work. So I always ask myself, okay, if I was in my 300-pound life, how would I start getting active to eventually be able to do a pull-up or do some push-ups?
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing is being patient, right? Because nothing's happening in a day.
Yeah.
Nothing's happening in a day. Except 4 year example, 300-pound life. I bet you they're not getting up and walking.
Yeah, I think that's a bad example. I think for them, just moving the arms is, you feel me?
Right.
But for someone who's 250, right, and you're 5'8", you probably just a walk, right?
Just but not walking. Even just a walk, right? Like, we have to be strategic about it. We have to think like, how can I challenge myself so when I do other things, it'll be easier? Yeah. For example, like for walking, maybe do incline walks, maybe do Stairmaster, right? Challenge yourself a little bit, right? Because then what that translates to is, let's say that same person has a job where they end up walking a lot, right? Now they're doing incline walks. Okay, cool. So then they're at their job when a fat level, or like a flat level, they're going to end up walking more because it's easier, right? And then losing more calories, right? So doing movements and focusing on things that make your other areas of life easier, you end up losing more calories than you know. And I can say that with experience. Like, for example, when I was training just to make sure my mile time was in 7 minutes, because before, especially back when I was the little chubby kid in the beginning, it was like 12 minutes. Shoot,
right?
I literally run on
12-minute miles, crazy. I know. Gang. I'm not gonna finish it.
I know.
I don't think I've ever in life read it, but go ahead.
It was insane. Yeah. But forcing myself to run on incline, and then every now and then going flat, I realized like it made life so much easier. Walking around class, I feel lighter. Going up the stairs, I feel so much better. And what that does is make you more confident, which is kind of where going back to the fitness when you're focusing on your health and how it translates to other places. Yeah.
And so we're gonna eventually tie this into the content that you make and what you're looking to build. But first, when you mention what you mentioned, first thing that comes to my mind is, okay, you need a plan. Where do you go to get that plan? Most people go to social media. What are you seeing as negatively on social media that's influencing health? Because for me, I see so many fitness influencers, and it turns out, oh, this guy was on steroids. Right. So he has an advantage. You couldn't get those gains doing his workouts. Or I'll see, people are talking weight loss, but it's, buy my plan, and it's really just some ChatGPT, non-personal. So, like, what are you seeing as far as, like, the fitness industry, its commercialization? What are the bad things that you're seeing?
I think the first thing people do wrong is that they don't find a creator that they can identify with. What I mean by that is, let's say I live in, God forbid, Section 8 housing right now. Yeah. And I'm watching this creator who has like a personal chef. Yeah. They have the nicest gym in the world, right? And I'm trying to learn from them, like, how can I lose weight, right? Their resources are completely different from what I have, right? So unless I, money-wise, like, how can I do what they're doing if I don't have the same resources, right? Yeah. So how can I find a creator who is working with the stuff I have that I can easily apply in my life? So that's where I feel like a lot of people can get lost, because they're comparing people who have different resources and stuff like that than what they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that I like that, because finding someone that sort of is doing your same thing or has been through your same journey.
And also the same routines too. Like, is this somebody who, let's say they work in tech and then also work out, right? Because, okay, automatically they're probably going to have a similar schedule to you.
Yeah.
You also work in tech, right? Of course, most people, fitness creators, don't disclose that. But the ones who do, it makes it easier to, relate to. So who can you relate to is essentially what I'm saying.
And so I think in the past, people would get personal trainers because that person would know your story, know what you're working with, know your routine. Now these days, people are getting online and they're doing the personal training online.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You recently got a certification for it, right? How was that? Was it difficult or?
It's definitely a lot of reading, a lot of videos. I used what's it called, ISA.
Yeah.
The test wasn't that bad at all. It's a lot of like, I would say, biology. And I can't remember what that class is called. Anatomy. Yeah. So those two topics.
And then the body parts.
Yep. And then at the end, it kind of tells you from the business side how that works. But why I'm a big fan of online space, I don't like physical. Like I would never own a gym, and the reason why, because that is one place. I want to help. If my goal is to help everybody, I need to find a way how I can help everybody.
Yeah.
Yes, I can own multiple gyms, but that'll take forever to build a capital for that.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Okay, but from when you took your personal training thing and like what you know about fitness, was there anything like unique that you learned that surprised you? Was it very conventional?
The only thing that really helped me with is just remembering all the names of the body parts.
Right.
Because the body has so many different things going on.
Yeah.
And then also how to talk to clients. Really, honestly, the client-facing part, that is what I learned the most from.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff I already knew. But in terms of like how to talk to somebody, identify their needs, align with kind of their current resources and their work life, that's what it kind of taught me that I didn't think about before. Yeah.
Okay. And so for you, you want to help as many people as possible.
Yep.
You want to use social media as a platform. Tell me about some of the things that you sort of have going on.
Yeah. So right now, when it comes to helping people, right now I just use like Canva, write out a little plan for them. Yeah. But I'm going to move to an app platform soon. That's going to automate a lot of stuff that I, would normally do manually and takes forever. Yeah. Like when it comes to like, a meal plan and also verifying what they ate or have them track what they ate.
Right,
too. So they can just be able to scan it. Boom, I ate this many pounds of this. Okay, cool. And then being able to do follow-ups as well. Yeah. Right. So having that type of stuff where eventually because my goal is not only to help as many people as possible, I don't want to help them forever. I want them to learn how to do it themselves.
Do it. and that I feel like is what's missing. You feel me? I feel like so much of the health stuff that's propagated now is come to my thing and I'm going to help you, but you're going to need my help forever.
Right.
And I'm always like, I think if you're getting help, the goal should always be able to do it with some level of independence to where eventually they don't have to pay you to do it. They understand the plan, the routine, they've got it on lock, and now they can say, Derek has helped me, I'm on my own now, and you feel me? Because like from your perspective, is there really anything unique in fitness that people need to be doing, or is it's still the traditional stuff, right?
Still the traditional stuff, man. Calorie deficit, that's really all it is.
Yeah. Calorie deficit for losing weight. How about gaining weight? Calorie surplus.
Yeah, that's like literally all it is. Yeah.
How?
Is this like, how do you want to do that? That's kind of where the means, as we mentioned before, is kind of
can be a little different. You have some variation in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Tell me, what else do you feel like in this industry is weird or something that you've noticed over time?
Something I noticed over time, kind of with the hustle culture, which I mean, it's something we're probably both, doing that thing too. But when it comes to like, you just see a random DM, hey, how long have you been working out? Hey, how long have you been coaching for? Oh, I got this sort of plan for you. Yeah. Those type of people increased by 1 million. But I understand it. People are trying to make money. It is what it is.
People are.
So that's definitely what's changed. And then when it comes to like clothing, fashion, it's become more of a, like me, you know me, I don't really care what I wear to the gym, but a lot of people do, right? Yeah. That's changed a lot more in terms of like the pump covers, paying $200 for stuff you wear to the gym and sweat in.
That's crazy to me.
I mean, like, if people want to do that, cool. It's not really my lane, but I understand you want to look stylish or whatnot for your. Yeah. So, but Yeah, I think like especially the fashion, really heavy part of what changed too. So
yeah,
pump covers were, I mean, they were kind of a thing way back in the day, but not nowhere near to like today.
Yeah, that's what I guess I haven't liked about the commercialization of fitness, because like now I hate commercial gyms. I can't even, like, if me and you go work out, it'll be the first time probably in a year I've went in a commercial gym, just because it's like when you have an influx of people and you're all in one space. Like I've always felt like fitness is a bit of a personal journey. You know what I'm saying? And I get the community aspect, but like this guy's on the equipment, this dude's misusing it, this guy wants to share reps with you. You came in for a certain workout, but all of this is taken. And I guess that's where the improvisation like comes in. But now I only work out. I've only worked out in apartment gyms since I've.
Like, I know you're more of a private gym person.
Yeah, I'm a private guy because also. There's one thing I can relate to people in the fitness journey, because I'm blessed. I've never been like overweight in my life. You know, I've only been maybe too skinny when I was like a kid, but the social anxiety aspect, like the psychological aspect of it, I feel like is probably the most important thing that you need to really go on your journey. And I think going to a gym where there's guys like you know, who are in shape, you're pushing crazy weight, there's guys sprinting, you might see me on the basketball court dunking. If I was out of shape, I'm like, bro, hell no, I ain't going there. You feel me? Like, this is crazy. I can't be in there.
I think it's the biggest thing people need to know. Nobody cares. This is what I learned. When it comes to, like, because at first when I was doing the videos in the gym, I was like, oh man, this girl looking at me, or oh man, why is everybody looking at? Right. Everybody has so much problems they have going on in their own life. They're not worried about you. They're not worried about what they got going on. I don't know.
I can't agree with that, bro.
At least in my experience,
I think 80% of people in there don't care. Unfortunately, I identify as the 20% of the evil dudes who see you doing the thing in the gym, and I'm cooking you, bro. Like, we laughing.
But still, even then, it's like, are they affecting my money? Are they affecting, are they affecting my car? Are they affecting my ability to do a rep? All those answers are no. Yeah. So that's where it's like, yes, the anxiety is there, but I don't think it should be, because these people to you, like you might be lifting and in the back, somebody's like judging you. You might walk out of the gym and never see that person ever again, right? They're not showing up to your family reunion. They're not showing up to dinner tonight, right? So it just doesn't matter. So I feel like that's where the anxiety needs to lower. But at the same time, I understand that a lot of people are anxious because, you know, the watching eyes or the feeling of it. But me, man, I could care less.
I admire that about you. I think another thing for me, especially when I used to live with you guys, I'm competitive as hell. Yeah. And growing up playing sports, I lifted weight through my sport. So we're competing against each other. Like, I can push more than you. So another gym thing for me is like, if I go to the gym and if I have a gym partner, I may come in and it might be my light day. But if I see you're about to max out, I'm maxing out. You feel me? If I see you're doing this, I'm doing this. Because it's like, and for me, I find that's so unhealthy for me, because it's like, bro, I need to come in and do what I need to do. But then if I see a dude squatting 500, I'm like, bro, next week I'm coming in and squatting 3. I'm going to work my way up to 4. I got to be when he's on. So I feel like for me, that always kind of gets me out of wanting to go to the gym too, because I'm just too...
I get that. Yeah. I think it's important to, like, when you have those feelings, right, maybe that's a sign that you might need a gym partner, right? So you have somebody who you could compare to, who's either on the same, lower, higher, whatnot. Yeah. But you're right. Looking at everybody, what they're lifting, that's definitely unhealthy.
Exactly.
Because I seen it before. What was it? One time I thought somebody was deadlifting, they ended up power cleaning, and I'm like, oh damn, they're power. And then they put it over their head. I'm like, oh,
you were like, oh, he that different. Yeah,
like, that's different. And I look at it, I'm like, that's not me. That guy, because remember, everybody's, like, as you said, everybody's on their own little journey, right? Mm-hmm. So it's always good to find like somebody who you're working out with, who you can, you know, relate to, have similar goals to. But outside of that, everybody else is doing their own little thing.
Yeah, and I'm also a guy, I don't really plan my workout. And I think, like, I guess you do more now. Do you do it more now, planning? Right, because I noticed, like, when I work out with you, we kind of go in there and, like, kind of think through and just sort of do it as we were doing it. And, you know, that's why I feel like I also don't like the gym, because I kind of look crazy in there. I might come in that joint, you know, bust out 30 pull-ups. Then you might just see me run all the way across, start doing legs for some reason. Yeah. But in my mind, I have something, you know what I'm saying? But tell me for you, because you go to the commercial.
I think the biggest thing is like, just having what split you're doing, because once you know, like, a workout split, everything else makes a lot more sense. Yes. And the reason why, like, As outside, so I plan in terms of like how much weight I want to do over time on exercises, but I don't plan which exercises. And the reason why is because going to a commercial gym, sometimes stuff is just ain't gonna be available.
It's not, bro.
Right?
It's not. That's why I can't even.
So you're gonna have to like adjust to find a different exercise machine or whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's like, but if you know, like, okay, last time I did split squats, I did 60 pounds, 3 sets of 8, let's say. Okay, this time I'm gonna try to turn it up a notch to 65, see how that goes. If it doesn't go well, let me go down again and do it again, and then right. But in terms of like, oh, I need to do split squats here, then, and there. No, I just do what's available. If everything's available, okay, then I'm gonna follow out what exactly I wanted to do. But if not, that's where that adjusting has to come through. But I still know what weights I did, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so what have become the new gym pet peeves since last time I spoke to you?
Oh, new gym pet
things
peeves.
that you see, you're like, bro, come on.
Yeah. This is a really small one. Yeah. I think I made a video about this. Is so that you know the handles for when it comes to the cables, like the handles.
Yeah.
So some people like tie it up.
Yes.
That is
like,
super.
What is going on? Yeah. Why do they do that?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I think it's to make it smaller, but that doesn't always help. Like that doesn't help everybody.
Really, because once the tension's there, it's there. You don't have to.
And a lot of the grips have like, at least because I'd be forgetting some of the names. The one where you hold like this, there's like 2 cables. Some people like tie it to make it smaller, but really it's like
I've seen that too. When
that
it's like
so
you can
annoying.
just start the grip on the cable earlier, you know, on the rope at least, versus trying to
And the worst part is some people tie it to the point where you can't untie it.
Yeah.
So that's been one of my biggest peeves for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, one of my pet peeves is, and this is kind of why I don't go to the gym, but it's the girls, yo. Like, and I'm not. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm saying like, there are guys who go to the gym, or like you've seen all the running clubs. Yeah. There's guys who go to the gym and the run clubs to spit game. Right. And if you're single, I guess, but like, why are you doing it here? I agree. That's what annoys, because I'm like, you know, the shorty, she's working out, she's doing her thing, and you come up and start trying to chat with her like that ass.
Honestly, I think there needs to be a whole separate gym for those type of people.
Yeah,
because the gym is.
There needs to be a singles gym. Yeah, because
gym is not a club.
Yeah, bro, like this ain't the club. Like you're tweaking right now. So even at the run clubs, you know, I used to go to. There's a big one here in Charlotte that's famous, and I think it's dope. But you know, and I guess you know, you meet people where you meet people. I'm not judging off that, but there's a certain way to go about it. You know, it's cool. You know, people they have the jokes like the gym crush. You introduce yourself. You know, you see her a couple times. Introduce yourself. Hey. But I think full blown like, yo, like you look good as fuck right now. Like come on, man. That's doing a lot. So
because I think also too from like the woman's perspective, like they're just here just to get a workout, get home. Because I've heard like many times like you know, a woman telling me, hey, I don't feel comfortable going to commercial gyms just because there's so many dudes there, and all of them do the same thing. And hearing that from multiple people makes me realize like, yo, like.
Yeah, we gotta stop.
Dudes are doing too much.
People gotta chill.
Yeah.
So, and then also for me, guys who yell. Like, yeah, bro. Like, people who know me, you know, I make my little sounds.
No, it would be funny. Oh man, let me tell you about when I moved to Georgia.
Some dude was in that joint yelling his ass off.
I was trying to find what
slamming
gyms.
The weights.
No, it was even worse than that, brother. Yeah. So I go into the gym. Because I'm finding new gyms here because I recently moved to Georgia.
Right.
I'm at LA Fitness. I'm thinking maybe this is the one LA Fitness that might be good because I like LA Fitness equipment, but the people who go there are questionable. I'm doing my workout. Tell me why. I think it's my music. I think it's like Rick Ross like yelling, but it's really some dude from the other side of the thing.
Rick Ross yelling is crazy. Yeah.
On the other dude doing a leg press. And you know how the leg press some people be doing, like they be putting on a million plates, doing a million plates on the top, on the side, taped up. And he was just going like from here to here and back. And
he's talking about
he's like, ah! Like
I'm already know I can see it in my head.
His girlfriend was there, like, but really like both of them had to be clueless. It was and it just annoyed me because it was happening like that was like my whole workout, like an hour 30 minutes. They're on that leg press.
Turning the music up in the headphones.
I tried to.
Bro,
you can't.
This is crazy.
You turn the music.
Yeah.
Like it's just
and people don't realize everyone is looking at you like you're goofy in that moment. Because it's like, bro, come on. You don't have to do all that. So, okay.
And to make it worse, they didn't clean their place. So the next person had to take off all those plates.
Oh, and they had when I tell you there was
like
each side.
It was like 20 of them, I swear.
I'm not gonna fake. I'm not good for always cleaning my plates, but I'm never using that many plates. So if I'm now, obviously, if it's leg press, it might be hella plates. So I'll do that. But if I use 145, I'm gonna leave that.
Okay, that's not that bad. Yeah, because this person had like 20. So
yeah, exactly. So that's
a whole workout in itself.
Yeah, and gym etiquette, man. That's another thing. That's kind of why I don't like the commercial. It's just so much. There's so many little rules you gotta learn. Yeah, you know, if someone's on the equipment, you gotta
gym parking. I love that term.
You know what I'm saying? And then someone might leave the equipment, but they're coming back, and I'm like, are you using the machine? Are you not? I don't.
That's funny. Now you know what I'd be doing?
Yeah.
I look up, down, left, right. Wait 2 minutes. If I see a phone, okay, I'll go off. But if it's a water bottle, because sometimes I'll be forgetting my water bottle.
Be crazy work. Yeah,
I'm like,
you're touching the water bottle?
Let's go to the left.
Hey, you're crazy. I'm not touching the water bottles, bro.
It depends, because some people like generally forget.
They really do.
Like I do that. Yeah. So I can't. So I'm assuming it's with the same stuff, but
yeah, that's why I've almost changed how I work out. If I go to a commercial gym, I'm usually working on movements. So I will take weight and go to, usually most gyms have those open fields, those mini fields, and I'll do it there. You know what I'm saying? I'll do squat lunges across the whole thing just because trying to get a squat rack at a LA Fitness is like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's like fighting for the last piece of bread. So, you know, man. But, okay, so you shared your platform. We've taught you shared your platform, right? Okay, cool. Next topic we have up here, adulting.